Are you a student dreaming of traveling the world and looking to tap into the power of points and rewards so you can travel in style while your peers wonder what it is that you know that they don't? Welcome to Prince of Travel, we're the leading platform empowering every global citizen to go further better. And as the founder, I myself had gotten started with my miles and points journey when I was a student. I was dreaming of seeing the world and I figured out that maximizing my credit cards was the best way to get there. Now, given how difficult it can be to juggle the financial tribulations of being a student with the rising cost of living and tuition expenses that you gotta pay every semester, in this video we'll share with you the 5 best credit cards to get as a student so that you can turn your day-to-day purchases on rent, bills, groceries, and everything else that you have to purchase into rewards that you can cash in on when you take that next trip. Now, let's start by thinking about the fixed expenses that you have as a student every month. These are things like rent, subscription services, maybe car insurance. These are all overhead costs that we should figure out a way to manage efficiently and get the best return by using the right card. So there's a few good options here among the pool of entry-level credit cards that you're likely to get approved for as a student, starting with the CIBC Dividend Platinum Visa card. Now, this is a solid intro card if you're looking to earn cash back on your regular purchases, things like recurring bills, gas, groceries, dining, and more. You'll get 3% cash back on eligible groceries, gas, and EV charging, 2% cash back on transportation, dining, and recurring payments, which we'll get into in just a moment, and 1% cash back on all other purchases. And as a bonus, CIBC will give you a first-year fee rebate on the $99 annual fee. Now, as an alternative option, you can also consider the BMO Eclipse Rise Visa card, which was recently introduced as an entry-level BMO credit card that's worth considering if you're a student just looking to dabble in the credit card rewards landscape. With this card, you can expect to stack up your BMO rewards points on your everyday purchases and then redeem them towards travel at a fixed rate of 0.67 cents per point in value. So among both the CIBC and BMO cards, it's nothing too crazy in terms of travel rewards. The earning rates here is 5 BMO rewards points per $2 spent on eligible recurring bill payments, groceries, and restaurants, and 1 BMO rewards point for every $2 spent on everything else. Now, these two credit cards are great, but there's still one thing missing that can help you save money, elevate your travels, and even earn money from the rent that you pay every month. Does that sound too good to be true? Well, let me introduce you to the sponsor of today's video, CheckC, which lets you earn up to 4% back on your monthly rent payments by paying with a credit card. CheckC is a game changer when it comes to maximizing your rewards, especially getting a new welcome bonus on a new credit card. And with rent going up across the country, especially in bigger university cities like Toronto, you can rack up enough points to cover a flight to Europe next summer simply by making the rent payments you have to make every month. All while your friends get nothing in return because they pay the rent straight from their bank accounts. Now, you have to do the math to ensure that the card you use offsets CheckC's fee, which is 1.75%. That's the case for the CIBC Dividend Platinum Visa card. That's a 2% cash back on recurring monthly payments, so that offsets the 1.75% fee and leaves you coming out ahead by 0.25%. And that means that you actually make money from paying your rent, all while building up your credit history and making you eligible for some of the other cards that we're going to talk about in this video. But before that, make sure to use the link in the description below to learn more about CheckC and find out how you can pay rent with a credit card. You can sign up today for free, and thanks to CheckC for sponsoring this video. Now, after we've talked about those fixed expenses, let's now talk about the variable expenses that you have as a student. University life means navigating those daily costs like meals between classes, outings with friends, and of course, that essential morning coffee. So let's talk about the best credit cards to get to put those daily purchases on and fuel your next trip that you get to have at the end of the semester. Now, this next credit card is the one card on this list that has a fee associated with it in the first year. But trust me, it's going to be worth it compared to the rewards that you get for spending on this card and the travel that you'll be able to embark on as a result. This is, of course, the American Express Cobalt card, and it's easily the most powerful credit card in Canada in terms of day-to-day earning, not just for students, but really for everybody. But as a student applying for a mid-level American Express product with no minimum income requirement, you can expect to be approved as long as you've built up about 6 months to 1 year of good credit history. With the Cobalt card, you'll earn 5 membership rewards points per dollar spent on groceries and dining, 3 points per dollar spent on streaming services, 2 points per dollar spent on gas, public transit, and travel, although this rate is changing in October 2024, and the travel category is going down to 1 point per dollar spent, and you'll get 1 point per dollar spent on everything else. The key focus here is going to be the 5 times the points on food and drinks, which is easily one of the biggest categories of expenses as a student. Every time you go out to eat or buy groceries, make sure to use the Cobalt card to get that 5 times the points. And of course, it also matters what type of points you earn on the card, and with the Cobalt card, you get the very powerful membership rewards points, which can transfer to airline and hotel partners and get you valuable flight redemptions for almost free that would otherwise cost you a lot if you paid with cash. If you're to put all of your food and drinks and daily expenses on the Cobalt card, then over the course of 1 year, you can expect to rack up enough membership rewards points to cover a continental trip within North America. And if you plan everything right, you might even have enough points to book a business class flight and experience a lie flat pod as a student. Be careful though, because once you experience lie flat pods, you won't want to go back to economy class. Now, we highly recommend the Cobalt card for your daily purchases, but there is that monthly fee of $12.99, which adds up to about $156 every year. But if you're a student who just doesn't like the idea of paying a fee at all for a credit card right now, but you're still interested in the idea of earning Aeroplan points that you can potentially redeem for flights, then check out this next card that's still a very good card for students, and that's going to be the CIBC Aeroplan Visa card, the only Aeroplan co-brand credit card that has no annual fee, which is great for a student on a tighter budget. There's a very low minimum income requirement of $15,000 as a household, and on top of that, you'll get a welcome bonus of 10,000 Aeroplan points just for making your first purchase. Now, this is already enough points to book a one-way short-haul flight, so you're already getting a free trip just for getting the card and making a purchase on it, which is pretty great. The earning rate is going to be significantly weaker than what you get on the Cobalt card though. It's only 1 Aeroplan point per dollar spent on gas, groceries, EV charging, and Air Canada purchases, and 1 point for every $1.50 spent on everything else, so a fair bit weaker, but that's the trade-off for having a no-fee card. The really cool perk though that you get for this no-fee card is that you still get preferred pricing on Air Canada flights when you book flights with Aeroplan, and that means that as a cardholder, the points that you pay for Air Canada flights are going to be cheaper than what everybody else who doesn't hold a credit card is going to pay. And the fact that you can get that just for holding a no-fee card is pretty cool. As you're racking up those Aeroplan points, you'll get that slight discount when you redeem with Air Canada. Now, we've talked about those fixed big monthly expenses. We've talked about those variable daily expenses. Now let's talk about the last category of expenses that you face as a student, and that's the occasional big purchase. As a student, every now and then, you might find yourself having to invest in new furniture for your place, a new laptop for the semester, or like 10 textbooks that you have to buy from this one professor for some reason because that's the only textbook that counts. I've been there, I know the pain, it's stupid, the whole system needs to change, but that's how it is. So as you think about these bigger expenses that you might face, the best way to optimize them would be to see if there's a credit card out there offering a welcome bonus that has a minimum spending requirement associated with it that would otherwise be difficult for you to reach, but with these one-time expenses, you're able to meet that spending requirement and unlock a huge chunk of a welcome bonus that can get you a lot closer to your next trip in a short amount of time. The credit card that we'll recommend for this purpose is TD's entry-level Aeroplan card, which is the TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum card. The welcome bonus as of right now is 20,000 Aeroplan points, 10,000 points upon your first purchase, and 10,000 points upon spending $1,000 within the first 90 days of account opening. Now, of course, keep in mind that if you have bigger expenses over a short period of time, you can look for other credit cards that have higher minimum spending requirements and see if you can hit those and get more points. You can check out our full list of credit cards on princeoftravel.com if you're interested in exploring your full range of options. But in terms of an entry-level travel credit card that's geared towards students and one that you're likely to be approved for, the TD Aeroplan Visa Platinum card is going to be a great choice in part of its affordable annual fee of $89, which is even rebated for the first year. With this card, you'll be able to earn 1 Aeroplan point per dollar spent on gas, groceries, and Air Canada purchases, plus 1 point for every $1.50 spent on everything else, and your Aeroplan points won't expire for as long as you're a card holder. And as you get this credit card, dabble with it a little bit, redeem some points for an Air Canada flight. Soon you may be ready to level up to those higher tiers of Aeroplan credit cards and unlock more travel experiences, especially if, say, you pick up some jobs on the side and your spending ability increases throughout your student years. If you're interested in learning more about leveling up your points journey and travel possibilities as a whole, and understanding the lay of the land when it comes to maximizing travel rewards in Canada, then watch this video next to see our ultimate guide for maximizing travel rewards in Canada in 2024. I'll see you in that video.